All right, so today we are going to be talking about how to start your own business and 5 things that you all need to know in order to start your business. A lot of you guys have been asking me how I got my startup Boomo to where it's at today, and I will definitely go into a longer form video about this because it was an incredible, crazy, challenging journey, and I feel like that has to have its own kind of series or video. But today I'm going to share with you guys the 5 steps that everyone needs to know in order to start their own business. Step 1 is have a business plan written down. And I know when I say business plan, it can sound intimidating because when I first heard about a business plan, I was like, I don't know what a business plan even looks like. Where do I start with this, right? So you could just really simplify it, and as you continue to grow your business plan will grow along with it, and it will become a bit more advanced, I guess you can say. But in the beginning, you just need to have the very basics. The very first thing is you need to define your purpose, and your purpose is why you or your brand exists. What makes you or your brand special amongst the other competitors? And that is really, really important because there's a lot of competition out there. So you have to figure out what problem you are solving in the marketplace, because that will bring value to you and your business. And that is actually how I started Boomo. It's not because I had this idea that I really wanted to create. It was actually a problem that I was facing every single day as a working parent. And I couldn't find a solution for it. I was looking everywhere and I just couldn't find something that could help me as a working mother. You have to know your W's, which is your who, what, where, and when. Who is your customer? Who is your target market? Who is your demographic? What age group are they? Where do they live, right? So that is the who. The who is so incredibly important because you are creating your content and your product around this person. For me, that ideal person was me, which is a working mother, a millennial mother that needed more proper solutions to support me in my home life and also my work life. What is your product? What does it do? What kind of solution is it offering to your target demographic? Where will you be selling your product or your services? Where are you going to be uploading your content? Where are you going to get the customers from? So that is the where. And then when will you launch? That is actually a harder question to answer than it sounds like, because there's a lot of work that goes into it before you can actually launch. So setting a solid date will allow you to work towards something. I think this is the biggest challenge for most people is I'll launch it when it's ready. But then when it's ready could take anywhere from a year to 5 years to 10 years to it never happening. And most businesses never see the light of day because there's no hard deadline. So it's really important to set these hard deadlines upon yourself so you will meet them or come close to meeting them. Last but not least, how will you get your customer, which is your target demographic, your who? And the how is really, really important because no customers, no business, right? So it's really important to define your marketing strategy, which I could also make a whole nother video for. But that is basically the fundamentals that you need to have in your business plan. In the beginning, of course, it will develop and there will be a lot more things that you will need to include as you continue to grow. But that is, it could be as simple as that. 2, know your numbers. This might sound scary to some of you because it was definitely scary to me. I am not a numbers girl, by the way, but I had to become very familiar with numbers. And I'm not talking about complex numbers. I'm talking about money in the bank. Like how much capital, how much cash do you need to actually get started? So you have to think about all the things from how much you need in the bank for yourself to survive with your living costs. So your rent or mortgage, to how much you spend on groceries, to electricity, like all the basic bills that you personally need. You need to make sure that that is covered because some of you may be doing this part-time, some of you might be jumping in full-time. So you need to know that you're gonna be okay without making some money for, a year, 2 years, 3 years. And then on top of that is the numbers for your business. So you have to add in all the costs that you're gonna need to start your business, from website design, purchasing the templates, to the fonts, to a photographer, all the tools, all the little things that you might not even think of, they all do add up, right? There's so many little costs. So what I would do is on like a spreadsheet, I would just write down all the little costs and think about everything that you can. And what I did was I actually asked some other business owners that have their own businesses, because sometimes I can't even think of the little things because I've never experienced it myself. So I would ask them, what are some of your costs? Can you share with me what kind of like your monthly expenses look like running a business? And I asked that to a few people, and I compiled everything. So what I did in the beginning, I knew my costs, right? Like my fixed cost of what I needed to run this business every single month, right? And then I times that by 12. So that will give you at least a 1-year runway of the amount of money that you need in the bank to continue to grow your business. Third step is surrounding yourself with advisors, mentors. Because for me, when I first started Boomo, I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally going into a complete different field that I was not familiar with. I've never started a business of this caliber before. And I didn't have that much money. I had enough money for me to be able to get it started and get it going, right? But I didn't know beyond that, like what I needed to do next, nor did I have the capital to be able to like hire people to help me. So I wrote a list of women that I've looked up to when I was like starting my business, whether them being an entrepreneur themselves, starting a business, raising money. Some of them I knew, some of them I've been acquainted with, and some of them I had no relationship with at all. One of them being Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba has become a very good friend of mine, but she was someone that I highly looked up to as an entrepreneur, what she's been able to build, and also just kind of transitioning from talent as a actress to now a business mogul, right? I was really nervous to talk to her, but I emailed her and I asked her if she had time to chat with me, and she said yeah, and I ended up talking to her about Boomo. She had a lot of great advice for me, and almost immediately, she was like, I'm on board, like whatever you need. I just remember that day being like, wow, if Jessica Alba understands the need of this, of what I'm trying to build, there's no turning back, right? Like every other mother that I talk to, like I also know that they're gonna need this as well. And it doesn't have to be like a celebrity or an influencer. It could just be someone that has a great track record, someone that you've always looked up to, and somehow build that relationship with them. LinkedIn is an amazing tool for that reason. I use LinkedIn a lot to stalk people and get in touch with them. And that has been probably the best thing that I could have done in the beginning days of my business. Fourth is probably the most basic, but it's the most underrated thing, is having the right tools. For me, I pretty much built my entire business on my Mac, on my laptop. I literally used it every single day, every waking hour, from my business plans to my pitches to like talking to people on Zoom. Like I literally need this one device to pretty much function at its highest pace, right? Because I'm using it all day. And if it slows down, it's not only gonna hurt me and my business, but it's gonna slow me down as well. Time is of the essence. You know, you have to make sure everything is functioning fast and well. So I use Clean My Mac X. It's an all-in-one solution that cleans gigabytes of junk and replaces dozens of optimization tools for Mac. And the crazy thing is, the average user cleans out about 65 gigabytes of junk throughout the year. It includes everything from a smart cleaner, a Mac speed-up tool, malware remover file, and app manager. So it helps Mac users focus on less junk, less clutter, less time wasted searching for a specific document on Mac. It's all about keeping your Mac minimal and decluttered so you can achieve more. It speeds up your Mac, deletes years worth of system junk, organizes your documents and apps. It finds hidden apps and folders. It updates all your software to the latest supported versions. I'm actually horrible at that myself, so this is really great. So all in all, it'll give you tons of free space. It will literally feel like you have your Mac back from day one when you actually got it for the first time, which is amazing. No need to go buy a new Mac or because it's like slowing you down. I was actually in that position where I was like, oh, do I need a new laptop? But no, I just used this and it sped everything up, updated everything. So I highly suggest you guys try it, especially if you're running your own business or you're thinking about it. This is like the tool that you need to have in order for you to function at your highest level and be able to be productive and save time. So I will leave the link down below in the information box for you guys to check out. So Clean My Mac actually sent me an old Mac that hasn't been cleaned out. And I'm going to show you guys how slow and how painful it is.
Gosh, it's so slow.
Who has the time for this?
It won't even load. Oh, there we go.
And here I have my laptop that I use to run my business. Obviously, Clean My Mac is on there. So it's functioning so fast and so quickly, and it just makes such a big difference.
Okay, so this is my laptop. All right, let's go to my website, the Chriselle Factor. Super fast, literally within 1 second.
And last but not least, time and stamina. This is something that is talked about here and there. And until I actually started my business, I didn't realize how much time I actually needed to put into it. You always hear, you gotta work hard, think long term, right? But when you actually put the pedal to the metal, or is it metal to the pedal? I don't know, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not even kidding. It's literally working 7 days a week, 12-hour days, sometimes 20-hour days, and you're gonna get burnt out. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're gonna get burnt out. There are gonna be days where you're gonna be like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. That's quite common. And sadly, a lot of people end up giving up because it just takes so much time and stamina. Stamina because you have to have that endurance. You have to stay the course for a long time to actually see it take off, right? And then once it takes off, then you have to stay the course again for it to really, bloom into something, blossom into something. So when people say they're gonna start a business part-time, I think, first of all, it's great, but you have to understand that when you're starting something part-time, it's only going to take that much longer for it to get off the ground. So you have to be realistic with yourself. If it's something that you could do full-time and jump right in, you are going to have to be ready for it. There are going to be long hours, days without sleeping. It's all part of it. And it took me about 5 years for Bumo to get off the ground. Really saw it take off within the last year, but for 4 years I had to continue to build my team, continue to stay the course. There were many times that I just wanted to give up, right? There were many times where I was like, oh, this is too much work. I rather just focus on creating content and being a mom to my kids because they're not seeing much of me. And there was an immense amount of guilt as a working mother, yet not just a working mother, but also a startup mother. And it's something that you have to ask yourself before you get started. Like, am I ready for that commitment? You just have to jump in and just make that commitment. So those are the 5 things that you need to know in order to start a business. There are many, many more. So let me know if you guys want me to do another video or part 2 of this. Happy to do so. And if you guys are interested in finding out more information about Clean My Mac, I highly recommend it. It is a game changer. Make sure to check out the link down below so you can make sure to trust your Mac.